He was convinced America had no idea what its enemies were planning, not because they weren't watching, but because they couldn't hear. Not the whispers in foreign embassies, not the encoded radio bursts pulsing through the night. After Pearl Harbor, it wasn't bombs that haunted military minds. It was silence. The fear that the next surprise attack was already in motion, and no one was listening. So, deep in the folds of American bureaucracy, a plan was born. An agency that wouldn't just listen, it would hear everything. But to understand how it all began, we need to go back to the final years of World War II. In 1943, American military intelligence was scattered across fragmented departments. The Army had its own signals team. The Navy had a separate cryptography unit. They worked in parallel, often duplicating efforts, sometimes even competing. It was inefficient and dangerous. As war ravaged Europe and the Pacific, it became painfully clear the future of warfare would be decided not only on the battlefield, but in the airwaves. Whoever mastered signals mastered the war. By 1945, the Allies had cracked Germany's infamous Enigma machine and were eavesdropping on Japanese communications. But it took thousands of people working in secret, day and night. When the war ended, most assumed these operations would dissolve. After all, peace had returned. But a few men saw something different, something darker. They believed the next war wouldn't come with marching boots, but with code, signals, and silence. And America wasn't ready. In 1946, a secret organization called the Armed Forces Security Agency was formed. Its mission, to intercept foreign communications and protect American military transmissions. But the agency had one major flaw. It had no real authority. It couldn't demand resources. It couldn't compel cooperation from the Army or Navy. It was, as one insider put it, a ghost with a desk. Behind the scenes, tensions were rising. In Washington, top military minds were arguing over control, not of weapons, but of information. Civilian leaders, especially in the newly formed Department of Defense, feared what would happen if signals intelligence remained fragmented. One misheard word, one missed message, and the consequences could be catastrophic. Enter Harry S. Truman, a president deeply worried about the growing influence of the Soviet Union, and increasingly aware that America's ears weren't sharp enough. In October 1952, Truman quietly signed a top-secret memorandum. With a stroke of a pen, the Armed Forces Security Agency was dissolved. In its place stood a new entity, one the public would not know existed for years. Its name, the National Security Agency. Unlike its predecessor, the NSA had real teeth. It could command resources across branches, coordinate global surveillance, and most crucially, operate in total secrecy. Its motto, defend the nation, secure the future. But from the beginning, the NSA's mission wasn't just defensive, it was expansive. It was about listening to every whisper, every wire, every signal, everywhere. The NSA grew fast. By the 1960s, it had become one of the largest employers of mathematicians in the world. Its headquarters in Fort Meade, Maryland, housed a labyrinth of machines decoding Soviet messages, analyzing radio traffic, and building vast archives of intercepted communications. But as its powers grew, so did the unease. Even among insiders, who was watching the watchers, the agency's first major crisis came in 1975, when the Church Committee, a U.S. Senate investigation, uncovered that the NSA had been secretly collecting millions of telegrams sent by Americans. The public was shocked. The government insisted it was for national security, but the damage was done. The veil had slipped, and the American people were beginning to realize the scale of the surveillance machine built in their name. Still, the NSA endured. As technology advanced, so did its capabilities: satellites, undersea cables, fiber optics. Every leap in communication became another door the agency could quietly slip through. During the Cold War, the NSA was the silent partner in countless operations, decoding messages in Vietnam, tracking Soviet submarines, and even eavesdropping on allies when national interests demanded it. Internally, debates raged. Some analysts pushed for stronger oversight. Others believed too much transparency would cripple the agency's ability to act. But by the 1990s, one thing was clear. The NSA had become more than a spy agency. It was an infrastructure, a global nervous system, collecting, filtering, and decoding the pulse of the planet. Then came 9/11. In the wake of the attacks, surveillance laws were changed dramatically. The Patriot Act expanded the NSA's reach deeper than ever before. Phone records, internet traffic, emails, all became fair game. The original motive, national security, was back in full force. But the tools had changed. The scope was unimaginable. For a time, few questioned it, until 2013, when former NSA contractor Edward Snowden leaked thousands of classified documents. They revealed a surveillance network beyond anything the public had imagined. Metadata from billions of phone calls, global internet tapping programs, partnerships with major tech companies. The NSA's motto might as well have been, "If it exists, we collect it." The fallout was massive. Allies were furious. Citizens were outraged. Snowden became both a hero and a traitor, depending on who you asked. The NSA, once unknown to most Americans, was now a household name, and with it came a question that still echoes today. How much surveillance is too much, even in the name of safety? Today, the NSA operates in a world of blurred lines. Encryption has made spying harder, cybersecurity threats have grown more complex, and public trust remains fragile. The agency claims it's evolved, now focused on defending networks and preventing cyber attacks. But critics say its main goal to have complete control over communications hasn't shifted at all. In many ways, the NSA is both a triumph and a tragedy, a marvel of coordination, code-breaking, and intelligence, but also a symbol of unchecked secrecy. Built to prevent surprise attacks, it became the ultimate surprise itself, hiding in plain sight. So, was it ever really about safety, or just control?